writing Brothers, it was hard for me to open up. You know, I had a good conversation with a friend of mine from California, and he was like, you need to start making, you know, those stories and stuff like that that you went through, you know, songs. And it wasn't necessarily me in the song, but it was definitely something that happened in my life about 10 years ago.
My name is Jorge Palomo. I'm the bass player for Chris Perez band, and I played bass on Brothers.
Hey, what's up? I'm Joey Jams Jimenez, drummer for the Chris Perez band.
What up? My name is Robert Gomez III. Everybody knows me as Babo, and I play keys in the Chris Perez band.
My name is Chris Perez. I am the guitar player on the song Brothers for Louie TheSinger.
You know, the first time I heard the song, it was one of those things where it was almost like a breath of fresh air.
When I heard how like the sort of like the rock and heavy aspect of it, I loved it.
When I heard the first 3 chords, I was like, okay, let's see if the story matches what's about to happen. And you know, so from that point on, I just started listening to his lyric, and I was like, man, there's like a story behind this song, like, you know, so it was pretty exciting just to kind of hear, you know, a song genuinely written like that.
Like hearing something different and new that's happening, but it had this emotion in it where I was like, wow, like it just, I think as soon as you hear the beginning of the song, before you even heard the first word, just the way it goes in, I was already hooked.
In writing Brothers, initially, I didn't have Chris in mind on the record. I got blessed with that at the end. It was like, I remember asking the internet, like, who wants to see me and Chris Perez collab? And I got such a great reaction, and then Lorenzo, my manager, reaches out to me, who wasn't managing me at the time. He ended up calling me and was like, yo, send me the record, you know, I'll see if I can get Chris to do it.
Smooth, Louie's manager called me and he had asked me about playing a guitar solo on a song for this artist, country artist, and you know, my initial response was like, yeah, send me the song, let me hear it. If it sparks anything in me, then I'd love to play a solo on it. So needless to say, I got the idea that Louie had and fell in love with it right away.
Louie in the studio, man, it was a lot of fun. You know, actually I can't really say any time we've ever worked together, Louie and ourselves as a collective, it's felt like work. It's just fun. We're just hanging out, doing what we do.
Going into the studio working with those guys isn't like working with like a regular band. It's like you going in there with guys that know exactly what they're doing, how to do it, and even like with Joey on the drums, like he did like just like a raw superb job, right? And I remember just being like, oh, I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna ask him. I'm like, is there any way we can put these doom 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 doom? And he didn't, like, without hesitation. He just looked at me and was like, yeah, dude, let's do it. And I was like, okay, cool.
So we started work on it, and then it was weird. The solo happened real quick. What we did there in the room, and then we just, like, we didn't stop there. We started layering more guitar parts on it, and next thing we know, we're in Austin, Texas at Orb Studios with Joey on drums and Jorge on bass, and actually arranging and doing some production on the whole thing, and then we had a finished product, and then I redid the solo on top of what we had done, and it was just an amazing experience, you know, to be a part of something like that. And not all the time do things come together that quickly or that easily. And this was just one of those things where kind of the stars were aligned and everything just happened.
You know, it's one of those things like you can't pray for a great record. You can pray for it. It might not come out like that, but you can hope that it comes out good and great. But phenomenal, man, you can't bet your money on that. You know, you might lose, but this time I feel like we won. You know, I feel like we got a solid record, and for it to be my first single released under a major label, like, you know, every artist's goal is to be signed to a major label, is to be doing this professionally and feeding their family. And for my first single to be released with Chris Perez and the Chris Perez band is like, man, it's a little surreal, you know? So it's like, you know, you kind of almost want to ask yourself, is this really happening, you know? Brothers will be available January 5th on all streaming platforms. The video is coming soon. Louie TheSinger featuring Chris Perez and the Chris Perez band, all streaming platforms. Universal Music Group Nashville. Love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Coming soon.